Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be a first impressions of a bunch of new makeup that I've been wanting to try. First thing I'm going to be trying is the Milk Makeup Blur Stick, but I have the Luminous one. I've been wanting to try the Blur Stick, and when I went to go pick it up today, I saw that they had a Luminous one, which you guys know, anything with Luminous in it, I gravitate towards more. This is hard to open, this packaging. Okay, got it. Milk Makeup Luminous Blur Stick. So let's see. I did swatch this in store on my hand. This thing says it's silicone free, shimmering gold primer, absorbs oil, minimizes the appearance of pores and fine lines, and leaves a luminous matte finish. And I think on there it said it goes on translucent, but it for sure said that it's gonna work for all skin tones. Which whenever they say that, I'm always just like, are you sure? Are you sure, everyone? Because sometimes we'll be having people looking crazy. So I'm just gonna, oh, that's my hair. I don't know, I'm not really a big fan of like shimmer primers. But I really wanted to try this one because I thought it was pretty. I thought it swatched decently in store, so I wanted to try it. We'll see. I might have to go and get the other one. It rubs in fine. The only reason I'm not a big fan is because I don't get the point of putting this down. I feel like foundation just covers it. But we'll see. This is the first time I've tried anything luminous on the face before foundation. Do I think that it's blurring the appearance? I've seen blurring products actually blur. Zoe! Sorry guys, that's Zoe being bad. She probably heard something downstairs. I mean, I don't really see too much blur. I've used products that say that they do blur, and I've seen the difference, like when it comes to blurring. Like the Tatcha primer is really nice to blur. Also the Maybelline, the matte and poreless. No, not that. The Maybelline Pore something. It's the Maybelline blurring primer thing. That kind of blurs, but I'm not sure about this one. I'm gonna go ahead and use my Nars Natural Radiant Longwear Foundation. It's one of my favorite foundations. I'm trying a few different complexion products today, mainly a concealer, and I don't want to affect it by using a brand new foundation. So let's blend that out. I don't know about this one. It was $36, I think. I mean, I feel like my foundation does look slightly a little bit more luminous today. Maybe because of it, but enough to switch primers? No. Let me know if you guys see a difference. I've used this foundation so many times, so let me know if you guys see a difference between them. So next we're going into the Milk Makeup Flex Concealer. I've been wanting to try this concealer. The Milk Makeup Foundation doesn't go deep enough, so I knew I wasn't gonna try that. I wasn't gonna waste my money on that. I was gonna do a darker shade video, but I'm tired of looking crazy, so it doesn't work. I have it here in the shade Deep. I've been loving the Nars Radiant Creamy Concealer lately as my go-to concealer, so we'll see how this one looks. It looks so much darker in the tube, but I guess it's pretty light. Hopefully I didn't go too heavy-handed with it. It's a lot lighter than my Radiant Creamy Concealer. And the Deep is the last shade that I have here. The undertone's not the best for me. It does have a more goldenish undertone. Maybe not golden, but like for my redder undertones, it comes off a little bit more golden than it probably would on someone that does actually have true golden undertones. I've been looking for some new stuff to kind of swap out my current favorites. I picked up a lot of things that were had really good reviews and were favorites for a lot of people. I'm just adding a little bit more just to brighten underneath my eyes. Since it's so much more on the yellow or golden side, it kind of doesn't go well with my undertone. Well, it definitely doesn't go with my undertone. I was really hoping this would work because the one below it is even more on the gray side. So that's why I got this one. Oh well, we tried. Because it makes my face now look gray underneath the eyes, which kind of sucks, but well, hopefully we can fix that here in a sec with some blush. So I picked up the Kat Von D Lockit setting powder, and it's supposed to be a translucent shade, apparently for all skin tones as well. So we'll see. This is a big favorite for a lot of people, so I'm excited to try this out and see if it could possibly replace my Patrick Star powder that I am obsessed with. Not really replace. I don't need anything. I just something different. Patrick's powder has more of a pinky peach kind of tone, and this one has more of a yellow, so I'm already a little okay. So I have this brush here. It's a MAC 116, and I'm just gonna take some of that powder. And with new powders, I never go straight in with a sponge and kind of press it into my skin because I don't know how it's gonna react. So I first go in and lightly like dust it. It really doesn't look like it changed anything on the concealer, so that's good. I know Patrick's powder has more of a brightening effect. Okay, never mind. It's brightening a little bit. So then on the other side, I'm going to use a sponge and kind of press it in, see what that looks like. It sucks that I'm using it with this concealer that I'm not really obsessed with. For being pressed in, it's really not that bad. I've seen it much worse. But I think what's really throwing the powder off is the concealer. So I'm just gonna go ahead and dust this everywhere else. So I got these Morphe, I think they're blush kits, like little mini blush kits. They're blush trios. I got this one right here. Hopefully that doesn't blind you guys. This one right here, but it broke. But I'm really interested to see this shade because it seems like a really pretty blush shade. I'll go ahead and swatch that shade for y'all. And then there's an orange, but it sucks because like out of all these that they sent to me, this was the only one that would work. I thought this would be a really pretty highlight, so we'll see. But like I said, out of all the ones that they sent, I think this one had the most shades that would work for me. I think they had 2 of these, and I think this palette would be the one that would work for me best. I think I'll go in with this blush right here. I'm using the shade Queen. Subtle kind of berry shade. It's really pretty though. I think it has a little sheen to it, which it doesn't look like it has any sheen in here, but on the skin it looks like it might have a little sheen to it. Or it might actually be that blur stick actually trying to pop through. It's pretty. I feel like I go heavy on the blush. And then I'm just gonna blend that blush out. It's not too harsh. Then I'm just gonna go into the Color Drain Queen of Hearts palette for my eyes really quickly. I'm just gonna do a little simple. I'm just going into the shade Duchess for my transition area space. I picked up this shade, this single eyeshadow from Sephora that I thought was stunning, and I cannot wait to try it. And then going into this shade right here, which is a single eyeshadow as well. It's just a chocolate shade, and I'm gonna pop that into my crease using the same brush. Next I have the single eyeshadow that I went and picked up from Sephora that I was telling you guys about. This shade is gorgeous. It's in the shade Hollywood Calling. It's a very shimmery gold shade, but not like too gold. I don't know. Let me swatch it for you guys. It's stunning. I thought it was so pretty, and I felt like it was gonna look really pretty on the lid. So I'm just gonna pop it on there. It's a lot more poppin' than I thought it was gonna be, but it doesn't have any fallout. So applying it with my finger, it applied pretty well. I'm gonna go ahead and take that Duchess shade and just blend out that edge. Then I'm just gonna give it a nice little wing with the Inglot number 77. All right. So I'm gonna pop on some mascara, and I'm gonna keep my bottom lash line plain. I don't know, I've just been liking that look recently, especially when I'm not doing too heavy of an eye makeup look. I just like to keep it simple on there. I'm gonna pop on some lashes. These are the Kiss lashes in the style Ching Chignon. I know I'm pronouncing that wrong, but oh well. So while that dries, I'm gonna go ahead and plop on some highlighter. This is also from Morphe. This is one of their new high impact highlighters in the shade Boom, which is this shade right here. It's kind of like a slightly rose gold, peachy, silver highlight. It's gonna come off silver on me because it's a little lighter, but I like the silver highlight, so it's gonna be perfect. I'm gonna start off with my nose. Hopefully it's the same formula as like Bretman's formula, because the formula in Bretman's palette was so good. It's pigmented. Okay. This one might be too light. Okay. We don't need to be looking like Rudolph. Okay, toned it down. Then I'm gonna take it here. I actually want to try, oh my god, okay, this highlighter is super pigmented and is way too light. So I'm gonna switch over to that one shade that was broken from the other Morphe like blush palette, and I just want to see what it's gonna look like as highlight. And then for the cheeks, I'm using the same in the Trio highlighter palette, and I'm using the shade Bold. I'm just gonna see what that looks like on my cheeks. Please don't look crazy. It is something I would most likely use as a blush, which is what it's supposed to be. It's pretty. I can see it as like both. It's not too gold. I feel like it complements my skin really well. Yeah, I feel like it complements my skin tone really well, so that's nice. Let's make sure we have that blended out because we don't want to look like a landing strip. So I'm gonna go ahead and pop on these lashes. All right, so I've got the lashes on. I'm not gonna do anything on my bottom lash line because I just feel like it kind of opens up my eyes a little bit more, not to have too much in my bottom lash line. So the next new product is from MAC. They have these new lip glosses, and they are from their Midnight Noir, I think, something like that. Oysterized, is that a word? I don't know. Soft shell, strip and dip. So these are the shades right here. Well, these three are the shades. I'm gonna go ahead and swatch them for you guys and try and pick out which one's my favorite. I think I'm gonna swatch them with my nude lipstick. I'm gonna swatch them on with the Among the Fireflies on my lips, because I normally put lip gloss on top of lipstick. This is Oysterized, something like that. This one's Oysterized. Not bad. Alright, so applying the lipstick again. I'm not really applying it that well just because these are swatches. Then I'm gonna go ahead with the shade Soft Shell, which is a pretty goldish brown shade. That's pretty. That is really pretty. And then last is Strip and Dip, which is this pretty shade right here. It's kind of like a rose gold shade, and I think it's gonna match the lipstick that I have on my lips pretty well. Oh yeah, that is so pretty. It is glossy, like super shine. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and spray my face down. All right, so this is pretty much the finished look. I really like how this looks. So out of all the products, which one would I leave behind? I'd probably leave behind the Luminous Blur Stick. I don't know. I expected a little bit more from it, but it didn't do bad, but it didn't do great. So that's probably why I wouldn't get it or be excited to use it again. The concealer, I think the undertone was just a little off for me, so if you have golden undertones, this concealer might work a little bit better for you. I am very heavy on the red undertones, so when I find something that's not really a true red undertone and it's more of a neutral, which I think this one is, it's a neutral undertone, it kind of comes off more golden on me than what it really is on other people. So if you have a golden undertone, this might work for you, but for me, I just don't think it really helped. It kind of made my under eyes slightly just a little bit gray. That's the only reason I would pass on the concealer. The blush palette from Morphe, I need to look at how many colors in here are workable, because when you get a palette for deeper skin tones, because I think they have two, one for lighter skin tones and one for deeper skin tones, it really depends on how many shades you can use on whether or not it's worth it. And I think I probably wouldn't use any of the top shades. I would probably only use these 3 shades right here. So buying the palette wouldn't make as much sense if you're only going to be able to use 3 shades. But these 3 shades are really pretty, but I probably wouldn't get the palette just based off of the rest of these being something that I wouldn't use, because they're all just too light. This is the other palette. Now, if you put this orange shade into the other palette, I would be here for it, but this I wouldn't use, and all of these I wouldn't use besides this orange shade, because it's really pretty and would look really pretty on deeper skin tones. Next, the other Morphe thing was this one right here. Even though I can't really tilt it too much because it's broken, but even though it was broken, I was still able to work with it. And I think the highlight that it gave me is really pretty. It's not technically a highlighter, but I thought it would work really well for how deep my skin is. There's also an orange shade in here, but then there's this one random really light shade, and I feel like if you're slightly lighter than me or just a little bit lighter than me, you might enjoy these. You might be able to enjoy this entire palette. What else did I use? The lip gloss. I think I would choose the one that I'm wearing right now, which is Strip and Dip. Yes, Strip and Dip versus the other two. Soft shell was pretty, so I think if you like soft shell, that was a pretty one too. This one, it's not bad, but isn't like my favorite. Would I find myself picking this up all the time? Probably not. But this one's stunning, so pretty. The Lockit powder. For it being so white, I don't think that it created that much of a cast. I think I need to try this with a different concealer, because I don't think I didn't like the way it looked with the Milk concealer, but I feel like if I tried it with my Nars, the Radiant Creamy Concealer, I might like it a lot more, because it didn't really like alter the way that the concealer looked, and it didn't really brighten too much. The Patrick Star one brightens a lot more than this one, but I could go, it depends on sometimes I don't want it to brighten too much, sometimes I do. So if this one does, since this one doesn't brighten as much, I might actually like this one to use when I don't want to brighten. I don't mind the Patrick Star one brightening though. That's like my favorite powder at the moment. I think that's everything for this video. I really hope you guys have enjoyed it. If you have, make sure you leave me a thumbs up and don't forget to comment below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Lots of love, and I'll see you guys next time.